What's up, everybody? And Josh from Red Short Trades here. Today, I'm going to review a few of the trades that I was taking a look at this morning. Overall, we are red on the day, but there were some core lessons that I think are really important to make sure we take away. And chief among them is make sure you're paying attention to what price action is doing on the chart. If it looks like there's not a lot of volume, there probably isn't a lot of volume. Obviously, you can use volume indicators, but for me, it is so important to make sure that you're paying attention to the price action because that trumps everything. So I wanted to review a few of the trades that I saw this morning. One of them was a really good trade, and we ended up missing the entry. I'll tell you why in a minute. And the other one, I was just not following my plan and did not get my entries solid and did not wait for my exits, primarily because of what price action was doing on the chart. And then the last piece that was just a unfortunate failure just based off where my levels were. I'm going to review those three trades, and I think you'll glean some really powerful insights. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts. All right, here we are on my Webull desktop. So really important first thing that I want to take a look at is NVIDIA. So why did we think about taking NVIDIA? So if you look here at what NVIDIA had been doing, we had some really key levels here. Primarily, we were watching this 122. Really beautiful rejections over here. We had some almost dips and bounces off of it. Then we broke below it, rejected it here. We saw another rejection here. And then we over here, of course, saw some rejection here, crossed above it, and then bounced here. So 122 was a pretty powerful level. On top of that, we had this 125 level, which was the primary watch for this morning. We had the rejection here, break above it, break below it. We had rejections here, rejections here, rejections here, rejections here. So obviously a pretty key level, and pre-market, we were hovering right underneath that 125. So as market opened, I took a look and I was waiting for a quick action break here above, and sure enough, we got that. Now, whenever I see a break above, I'm usually looking for an opening range break and retest. So when it's something this aggressive, and we saw a lot of momentum action right into the day, which was exactly what we want to see for some of the stock tickers here. We want to see this quick momentum. Usually with this, I will either look for an opening candle break and retest on the 1 minute chart or an opening 5 minute candle break and retest. When it's this aggressive, usually I'm looking for that opening candle break and retest. So what did we end up seeing? We got exactly what we were looking for, right? We saw this opening candle. I drew my little demand zone here at the wick of this candle, which is exactly what I wanted to retest. We broke above it, came back with a beautiful hammer candle here, and we ended up setting our profit target up here, which was a prior day level from a couple weeks ago. And we ended up hitting that no problem with the relative strength that we had on NVIDIA. Now, this is the one trade that I should have been able to take, and I didn't take it. And the reason why was my broker was doing something, Webull was doing something weird as these candles were forming. I was seeing a lot of like blippy, glitchy movement. And that blippy, glitchy movement always makes me pause because I don't know if it's something that's to do with the broker or something that has to do with the price action on the chart or some news that I'm just not aware of. There was no really big news articles on the day. So, but that being said, had I not been seeing the glitchy movement, and I really think it was because I hadn't reset the Webull dashboard in a bit. So I closed it out and opened it back up. And by the time I had opened it back up, we already started into this move and I wasn't going to chase. And so sure enough, ended up taking all the way to my 1 to 2 profit target right up here and hit it beautifully, and then started to reject back. And as you saw, I kind of had planned out another potential opportunity, but at this point, price action was kind of breaking up and below that same key level. Now here we started to hold it, but I was watching another ticker at the time. So this was the first trade, opening range break and retest on that 1 minute candle, beautiful hammer candle that serves as your entry. And then you had a beautiful sweep up to a prior day level. So this is trade number one, the trade I missed, but the trade I wish I took. Then there's Tesla. Tesla was breaking to the downside. And so we saw a really nice move down. I saw this hammer candle get put in, and so I ended up popping in the trade. It came up, wicked against my stop loss, but I ended up staying in it. And these option contracts were, the challenge that I had with these particular ones that kind of spooked me a bit was the spread was really wide. It was probably about a 5 to 10 cent spread on the Friday contracts. And so my profit target was down towards this prior day level. And I started wicking up here, didn't get out here, but it started breaking down to this level all at the same time Q's was doing something interesting here. Qs was going up against this 486 level and was starting to kind of show some strength against it. And that started to make me just a little nervous just because of how much strength it was showing, whether or not this was just going to kind of rip back up to the upside. Should have trusted the trade, though. It would have taken a while, and I would have had to sit through some pullbacks here because the relative strength kind of pulled back, but it ended up hitting the target. I ended up getting out around here at these lows on the position. So made a small profit, but nothing to write home about. But all that to say, trade your plan, or plan your trade and trade your plan. Plan your trade and trade your plan. That's always got to be the mantra. That's my new mentality I'm trying to take moving into this week. So this one ended up taking a small W on, but then AMD ended up chopping me out of that. This is the third trade I took. Now I had this 169 level drawn out here. Let me show you why. If I jump back over to the 1 hour chart, we had these rejections of that level over here. And if you go back over here, we had a little bounce here. We also had some rejection points here and some rejection points here, some breakthrough, some consolidation, rejection points. So this 169 was a pretty key level for me. And so as I entered into the day, what I was looking for was a pullback into that level. And this is the challenge that I have, just for what it's worth. Whenever you see a stock, when you're trading on the 1 minute chart, I'm trying to pay attention to market structure, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. I'm seeing a clear downtrend here. Whenever you're trading a reversal on the 1 minute time frame, I know I have the strength of the higher time frame potentially if we can hold this level. I always need to wait for the market structure on the 1 minute to change. And the challenge that I've had is sometimes I hop in too early, which was the case here. Market structure did not change. We still were creating lower lows and lower highs. And I ended up getting in on the first rejection of this 169 level, started to move in the direction, pulled back, wicked again, gave me confidence, move in the direction, but then it pulled all the way down here and ended up, I stopped out here. Even though I could have stayed in and should have stayed in, I ended up seeing a really aggressive sharp move down and I ended up stopping myself out. Plan your trade your plan, because I could have stayed in this and it would have started moving back favorably in the direction. Now, how would I have traded this differently? AMD, I would have traded differently in that I would have waited for the prior highs to be broken, which would have been these highs here. These need to be broken in order to change the market structure, the change of character in terms of the momentum of the day. And so we got that break here. So now what I should have waited for is this pullback into the level again. Now, we never got a perfect retest on this, but in these instances, that is how I would trade this differently. Last but not least, the other trade that I got stopped out on was the Qs. We've been watching this 486 level for a while. We've been seeing it dance around it, break, retest it, reject it, bounce and hold it, and reject against it, reject against it. So this 486 level has been a watch for a while. So I was, at this point, I think it's starting to get exhausted, but I was still playing some strength. We broke to the upside, did not get a great retest. We broke again to the upside, came back down and got this doji candle, which is not the best entry, but I ended up taking an aggressive entry off of it to see if we could get some momentum to the upside. And it just ended up not being able to show the strength, ended up stopping me out. As you can see, it came all the way back up here again, and then ended up pushing way back down again. And then I tried seeing if, okay, well, maybe there's a downside move because we broke this low, created a lower low. I was waiting for the retest back up here, but it just ended up, it's just dancing around here. And so I got wicked out here. And obviously it seems like it's breaking to the downside right now. But all that to say, I'm really trying to make sure I stay focused on trading my plan. I'm planning whatever I'm going to trade and I'm trading the plan, and I'm trying to ignore noise that's surrounding it. So if my stop loss gets hit, I'm going to take myself out. That was what my plan was. Overall, down on the day, gave back my Friday profits, but learning lessons along the way. Chief among them is make sure that you don't hesitate on your entries. There were a few times today where the entry was pretty solid when I was watching all the tickers I was watching, and I just hesitated. I just did not take the entry. So make sure that when you trade your plan, you're looking for your entry. This is a perfect hammer candle. I should be entering on that every single time. So frustrating that I didn't. Granted, this particular trade, I did have some valid reasons not to enter it. So that's all for today. Hopefully, if it's some encouragement, definitely hit the like button and pound that subscribe button so you can continue to get more content like this. But big thing I'm trying to make sure to stay focused on, and I'm going to be doing more of these trade reviews. I really want this channel to be just kind of like a documentation of the trades that I'm taking. So I can learn and keep myself accountable. You can learn along with me as I'm winning, as I'm losing. I've been doing this since I've kind of started back into doing some options trading. I've been running it for since June of this year. So about 4 months now as of this point. And at this point, account size wise, we're down a bit, but we're making kind of incremental gains daily. I've been sizing back to be able to just focus on trades and execution. So hopefully if there's anything you take away from all the videos that I'm posting, it's about what does the trades and execution that you could potentially take look like. And hopefully this is helpful to you in your trading. If you have any comments, questions, if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the notes below. I'd love any encouragement as I'm continuing going through this. And I hope that this is encouraging to you as I document this trading journey. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Solid when I was watching all the tickers I was watching, and I just hesitated. I just did not take the entry. So make sure that when you trade your plan, you're looking for your entry. This is a perfect hammer candle. I should be entering on that every single time. So frustrating that I didn't. Granted, this particular trade, I did have some valid reasons not to enter it. So that's all for today. Hopefully, if it's some encouragement, definitely hit the like button and pound that subscribe button so you can continue to get more content like this. But big thing I'm trying to make sure to stay focused on, and I'm going to be doing more of these trade reviews. I really want this channel to be just kind of like a documentation of the trades that I'm taking. So I can learn and keep myself accountable. You can learn along with me as I'm winning, as I'm losing. I've been doing this since I've kind of started back into doing some options trading. I've been running it for since June of this year. So about 4 months now as of this point. And at this point, account size wise, we're down a bit, but we're making kind of incremental gains daily. I've been sizing back to be able to just focus on trades and execution. So hopefully if there's anything you take away from all the videos that I'm posting, it's about what does the trades and execution that you could potentially take look like. And hopefully this is helpful to you in your trading. If you have any comments, questions, if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the notes below. I'd love any encouragement as I'm continuing going through this. And I hope that this is encouraging to you as I document this trading journey. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.